Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. Hope you're having a great day today. And you know, I might have some new seed varieties coming, or some new seed mixes that we're going to be able to offer. And God's good. He's opening up some doors so that we can do that. Now right now I got my GCI Turf Type Tall Fescue, okay? And this right here, this area of yard right here, I'm in central North Carolina. We've had very little rain lately. You can see I'm a little cloudy right now. I've looked at the radar and that storm is way south of us, so we're not going to really get any of that. I was kind of hoping we would. I have watered this manually with my big sprinkler. Maybe if I had to put a number out there, I'm going to say about 6 times throughout the entire summer. But when I watered, I would let it sit out here and run for 2 and 3 and 4 hours at a time to get a real deep soaking. Now one of the cool things about this is I have not mowed this in a month. Look at that. You can see that's from my cryptomeria. You can see it's really good and bushy and shaggy. But I do that to protect the turf. I know that if I get out here and cut this thing, it's not going to be long. It's going to start losing color, especially if I'm hot and dry. Now this right here is my yard, what I call my yard. It's kind of the area that's right around my house. It's the same turf, the GCI Turf Type Tall Fescue, but it's got some Kentucky bluegrass mixed in it, so it's a little bit darker. Matter of fact, if you go back to some of my other videos and look up in the drone and compare it to last year, it's actually quite a bit darker. At least I think it is. It is to my eye anyway. But now this area of yard, this is irrigated. And I have been pumping the water to it. I'll be honest with you, I've been throwing it to it. I run my irrigation about 40 minutes, 3 times a week. And after a super hot day, I'll cool it down and syringe it. Just to kind of give it a little break after that heat. You know, you want to be a good neighbor and all. I love my neighbor sometimes, so I'm not even going to go, I'm not even going to talk to him. I'm just going to deal with it. But look at all this crap he threw over in my grass. Look at all of it. Where he mowed that crabgrass right there. But that's okay. Ain't no big deal. I ain't going to get worked up over it. I ain't done nothing but busted my tail out here all year on this, but I'm still going to love him in Jesus' name, and I'll just clean that up for him, and I'll never say nothing to him. So here's your little update on the Kentucky bluegrass, and you can see just a touch of heat stress. It ain't much going on right here. It had some weeds in it. We went away on vacation, and I didn't mow it the week before. I didn't mow it the week we were gone, and I didn't mow it for the past week after. So it's been 3 weeks since we cut this. It was really shaggy. I'm gonna say it was up around 6 inches roughly. I've been cutting it about 3.5 all summer. Started off short during the spring and started going up as we got hotter. It got up to about 6 inches today. I just cut it down to 3 inches. I cut half of the grass blade off. My goal is to try and stress it out. I'm trying to mimic things homeowners would do and be detrimental to the yard, to see if I can get this stuff to go south. Here we are, late July. We're a few days away from August 1st, I think. And man, I'm telling you, if it can make it this far, August shouldn't be a problem either. So, but my job is to stress it out and test it before I put my name on a bag of grass seed that has some of these varieties in it. All right, so that little clip you just watched was from a couple of days ago when I cut the bluegrass, and you can actually see this corner over here is already stressing just a little bit. The rest of it's looking pretty good. But you heard me talk about my seed. What I'm gonna do here, we're preparing for next year for the GCI Bluegrass blend. Now, one thing you'll never get from me ever is I'll never tell you about something or try to sell you something that I've never tested, or I just don't do that. So, as part of me, I'm not gonna put my name on a bag of grass seed unless I test it very thoroughly, just like I did with the GCI turf type fescue. I'm gonna do the same thing with this bluegrass. I am not gonna water this one bit. I'm going to depend on whatever falls out of the sky, and that is it. I'm going to mow it once a week, regardless if it needs it or not. I just mowed it 2 days ago. I've dropped the deck down again, so now I'm at about 2 3/4 inches. I'm going to run over it, give it a quick cut, and one thing I am going to do is I've got 2 gallons of water with 15 ounces of microgreen and a couple ounces of natural adjuvant. And I'm gonna spray it. I'm not gonna water it in or nothing. I'm just gonna spray it, let it go, and then we'll just see what happens. The whole month of August, I'm not gonna water it. Of course, obviously you're looking at me on the camera, and I can do things without you seeing me and get away with it, but you'll just have to trust me. That's all I can tell you. I'm a man of my word, and I'm not gonna water it, I assure you. All right, so there you go. I actually had to double cut it because I cut it down kind of low and it made a really big mess, especially on this side up here. And so I had to double cut it to kind of clean up the clippings, but that ought to show you how low I got it. It's easily 2 1/2, 2 3/4 inches. So a real short cut. I sprayed it with, again, the microgreen and the natural adjuvant. Simply because I know we're doing a stress test here, but I want to mimic real world situation, meaning a lot of yards don't have irrigation. And so I'm totally and completely cutting the water off for the entire month of August, the hottest month we get here in North Carolina, with 0 irrigation, red clay, and I give it some adjuvant to try to help limit the transpiration process. So any water that's inside the plant, maybe it'll hold on to it, we'll see. And then the microgreen, I give it that to give it just a little bit of food without giving it nitrogen. You know, of course, if I went and hammered this thing with nitrogen right now and put a lot of water on it and forced it to grow in this hot environment, it might stress it out pretty good. So I don't do that. But the microgreen is going to be a good food source to kind of help it with the stress. So we'll see how it goes. So you know, my bluegrass mix, I need to I can't get that variety out there like I said earlier, and I don't like the Bewitched. Well, I don't like it right now. It just ain't gonna get a chance. So I got another variety coming. I'm gonna put it in that corner, and I'm gonna take a mixture of the 3 varieties and put it right here, okay, where this one's at. And that'll be for next year, and we'll keep a good eye on it because that'll end up being the 3 varieties that go in the bluegrass blend. Now I got a cool comment from somebody on one of these videos somewhere, and he said, "Hey Pete, I know you're going to do a renovation back here. Why don't you do a straight up DIY with none of your fancy equipment or nothing like that?" So let's do it. These 2 spots over here, we'll just do a straight up DIY, and we'll go, or I'm not going to go rent a plugger because I've got several of them. But we'll use a nice walk behind plugger just like a DIY guy would do, and we'll do this section over here and kill it off and scalp it and rake it and plug it and seed it and fertilize it and all that kind of good stuff. So subscribe, like and subscribe and share. Be sure to tell all your buddies because they're not going to want to miss this. It's going to be pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is kind of how I'm going through the process of testing this out to make sure it's going to be good enough to put my name on the bag, because I don't do stuff unless I try it first. Now my crap over there I blew back over in my neighbor's yard. I'm going to put my bagger on and go bag it up and go dump it in the corner of my garden, because I want to treat him like I want him to treat me. So I'm going to go over and clean it up for him. Look at that right there. I still get excited because I get to cut that grass down so short. Look at it. Look at the difference in the height in the fescue any bluegrass. So hey, appreciate you watching. I'll check you later.